think about movies like Disney movies. You got Disney movies, animated movies, what Cars and Frozen and Toy Story, Sonic. Well, I guess the recent Sonic movies are not really animated or partially animated. I think about video games like Candy Crush or Pokemon, Mario, and other games like that people see as, especially adults, see as kiddish or childish, and the adults are more into movies and video games that are depicting more, usually there's so much drama, there's violence, there's so much blood, and when you recommend these movies to them or video games, or they are depicted on billboards or your phone, many adults are saying, well, that's a kiddie movie. I can't watch that. I'm not gonna watch that. Or let's enough with or even with an event, like a, say, a gaming event, and all they show is a whole bunch of games that seem pretty kiddish, seem pretty, something that is really geared towards kids. And adults would say, come on, bring out the grown folk stuff, or enough of this kiddie stuff. And I'm thinking, well, why can't you play it? Yeah, sure, they're geared towards kids, and many, you can see it's obvious for movies and games that it's geared for a certain audience. But it's adults that seem like they cannot play it. Like, is it forbidden to play it? Is it a taboo to play it? Why? What will be the issue if you play it? Right? There's something about games, certain games, and even movies, that when you watch these movies that are geared towards kids, it's like such a refreshment. It's like there's so much, there's laughter, there's joy. It brings like a vulnerable side of you. It's more emotional, right? And I think a part of it why adults are adverse to watching anything or playing those kiddish games, that they are afraid to be vulnerable. They don't want to express emotion. They're not emotionally healthy to even go towards that particular route. They're so used to watching movies and playing games that just depicting violence, sex, and cursing, and they're so trained to go towards that a switch away from that is uncomfortable, feels weird, feels odd. I can't do that. Why? And in this world, man, we are just so, especially obviously adults, angry, selfish, bitter, and that's why I love what Jesus said about, you must be like a little child to enter the kingdom of God. You think about these games and these movies that usually geared towards children, the audience for children, that it brings something out of you that adults have lost. That curiosity, that giddiness, that goofiness, that cheerfulness. Like when's the last time that the adult, for you have children, like play with your kids and wrestle with them, laugh at a goofy movie together, tickle each other, play cards together, just goofy, just silly. Put on some, I don't know, some, dinosaur mask on, or dinosaur helmet on, whatever they call it, hat, whatever it is, a covering for you, over your head, mask, this goop, see a little daughter or son and crawl around with them on the floor and pretend like you're a kid again. In that aspect, just goof off with them. When's the last time? And there's it's people. You know, I think even recently I saw a trailer for a game, and the game was, I think it was it called again? Darwin's Paradox. Oh, I check out that trailer if you haven't. Looks very creative and goofy and fun, and you know looks like most kids will enjoy it. I'm sure adults will enjoy it too. Possibly geared towards more towards kids. And someone in the comment, I think one person comment was like, "Oh, this goofy game, blah blah blah." I'm like, "What's wrong with being goofy? What's wrong?" You want to, I wouldn't be surprised that that person is an overly serious person, overly serious and stoic, and always so serious and never barely any smiling, you know. And people wonder why they're depressed. They wonder why their health is suffering. They wonder why people don't want to be around them. Wonder why their marriages are crumbling. Wonder why they go through all this, damage mentally, like so much cognitive impairments in life, dementia and Alzheimer's and all these diseases, because and one fact is that we bring it to ourselves, because we don't want to open up. We don't want to get to that place where we could be fun again and goof off again. We're just always so serious, right? And I know for many of us, I know maybe you were trained a certain way, you were exposed to certain things, and life is tough, and maybe you were taught that that's how you get through life. You got to be serious all the time. You got to be slow. You got to be like militant about everything, And I mean, there is time to be serious. There's time to focus like a laser at a task at hand. There's time, but when it gets too much, too extreme, it can hurt other areas of your life. You know, it can really hurt you, and to the point that you're just feeling empty and depressed and even suicidal, and you got no joy. You're empty because life is just so serious, and you don't know when to relax and have fun and smile and goof off. But I really think that kids movies and video games, they are. I mean, there are adult games that are pretty okay, are let's say rated T, that are pretty, there's some goofy elements to it. But the time and age where people are just into this, just some people like movies that are got some comedy to it, but people tend to really gravitate more to movies that are just primarily it's about violence and there's drama. It's gotta be scary. Games are just about shooting and some sexual themes to it and cursing and things blowing up, but and there's very little comedy to it. There's little goofiness to it. It's not much to it, and I think that can have an effect on your mood, your personality. I think it really can. Um, so I think that adults can watch kid movies, and I don't think that there's an issue. If you got an issue with that, why can't you watch that? What's the worst that could happen? What's so bad about if you watch a movie or a game that's supposed to be for kids? What's wrong with even playing with your kids, watching it with your kids, even by yourself? What's wrong with that? Right? You're not weak. You're not a wussy. If you were to watch it, it will help you tap into that part of you that you lost. You lost it. If you lose that part of you that was sweet and sensitive and so super cheerful and goofy, man, that can really negatively impact your relationships, your marriage, how you interact with your kids, your health, or your overall mood in life as you go to work and go to school and do this, do that. All right. So I challenge you, if you're an adult, man, watch a kiddie movie sometimes. play a quote unquote kiddie game sometimes, and just remember what it feels like to be a kid again. All right, and watch it transform your life to to greater heights again. All right, bless you, God bless you, love you.